1, 2, 3, testing. Okay, I am back. This is another video to support the training that I'm doing down in Bahamas. I just wanted to record this to kind of give you something to come back to when you're trying to get this integrated into your application. And what we're going to focus on here is, we've already showed you how to integrate Firebase, but here we're going to show how to upload basically blobs, binary objects, to Firebase. Most often, what you see people doing with it are uploading images, and so that's what we're going to show you an example of how to do, how to upload images and save them into Firebase. And a pattern that I normally use is you upload the image to Firebase and then you save the link to the image or the path to the image in another collection, so it's easier to kind of query the images that you have saved. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get our test project started up. You guys probably already have a project you want to integrate in, but I just want to go through the process one more time to kind of show you guys how this works. So let's see, Ionic start. We're going to take a React project and we're going to say Firebase images is what we're going to name our project. We are going to do blank, and then we're going to let this run. And while we're letting this run, you guys have already set up your project. Okay, so what will happen is when you come into your build directory and you go down to storage, this is the screen you'll see. It says get started. You click the get started button. And right now, as you can see, the rules are set up saying that you need to be authenticated to save to cloud storage. We're going to change these rules so that you're not required to be authenticated for this example, but please make sure you change it back. So I'm going to say next. I'm going to set my location to central. I'm just going to leave it here for default for the purpose of this demo. Now it's creating my default bucket. Now we're going to go back to our rules. And as I said right now, this requires read and write. You need authentication to exist, so request auth. And so what we're going to say is we're just going to change this to say if true. And if I'm correct, this means now anyone can save files to storage. But this is something you want to make sure that you go back and change so that you can protect your storage. Okay, so now we're set up to upload images and get access to the images. And so this step, make sure that you do it on your project before we get started. So let's get back to our application and let's cd into our project directory. And then let's open this up in Visual Studio Code. And let's go into source, pages, home. I'm going to make this font a little bit bigger for everyone. The bulk of the work we're going to do for this example, to keep it simple, we're just going to do everything here inside the home project. So let's pull out all this stuff because we don't know it. We just have our basic content. We're going to say our class name, this was ion padding. And then, so this is going to be Firebase image test, image example. XAMPLE. All right. And just to focus, so basically what is going to happen is that we are going to const upload to Firebase. And this function is going to take a file to upload. And since we're going to just play fast and loose with TypeScript, we're just going to make the type be any. Okay, so now we have ion and padding, and then we're going to do this. We're just going to use a simple file input to get the file. So I can just say input type file. And actually, let's get this running. Well, let's move this back over. We'll go back to our terminal. And let's say Ionic serve. Okay, so we're back. We started our app. It is running. And now if we choose a file, we get the picker. And I'm just going to choose this. Let's choose something different. And you can see that we're getting a file. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to listen for the onChange event here. Because the onChange event is going to let us know a file was selected. So onChange. And then we're going to take the event that comes. ENT, we're going to set its type to any. And then we're going to, just to kind of keep this clean, we're going to say set selected file. And then we're going to get the event.target event. Clear this event.target.files.0. And that should be the file that was just selected. And then up here, we're going to create our state variables. And so we're going to say const did file. And then kind of set selected file use. And that's got a selected file. Let's add our import. And then what we want to do is let's go down here on the bottom and add p selected and then we'll put selected file here. All right, it's complaining I put this placeholder file data services in here, which is where we're going to put our Firebase stuff. So let me just clean this up a bit so we can stop getting our error. Okay, now let's choose a file. Okay, what did I do wrong? Because it's not a piece. Oh, we just want to draw just to get the name of the file. And we just want to make sure that we actually have a selected file before we try and render it. So now let's try this again. So we have the name of a selected file. But actually what I'm getting here is I'm getting a whole file object, and a file object is what we want to upload to Firebase. So so we were wondering what the data services is. We're going to use this the same way we use it in the other file. And so, well, the first thing we need to do to get started is let's npm install Firebase. We're going to let that run, and then we're going to go back to this task. Let's make sure we stop this because we're going to have to restart for Firebase. And then here we are in data services. We need to import we need to import a bunch of files for to get the libraries going here for Firebase. And this is similar to what we've done in the past. So we're just going to, once I can find that, so we're just going to add the basic Firebase imports that we need in our application. You can watch the previous video where we did a more complete Firebase setup, where we go through that in detail, but I'm just trying to save some time here. So let's import our Firebase imports. Now these are usually all the imports you need. We are not using Firebase auth in this example because we're going in without it. That's authentication. Firestore is for the database. Firebase functions is for cloud functions. And what we need to add for images is import Firebase storage. And that will give us the information that we need to handle the Firebase storage. And then the other thing that we need to make sure we do here is we need to initialize Firebase. And so to initialize Firebase, because the way we're running it is with hot reload, one of the things you need to make sure you do is check for multiple instances of Firebase running. So the way you do that is if firebase.default.apps.length. So that means if I have a bunch of apps, if the length equals 0, then I want to initialize Firebase. Otherwise, we're just going to use the instance of Firebase that's already running. So we'll say Firebase default.initialize app. And then here's where I will add my Firebase configuration, but clearly I'm not going to do that in front of you guys because my Firebase credentials belong in there, and I don't want to show you my Firebase credentials. I'll show you how you access them, but we'll put that in later. And then the last thing we want to do at the bottom here is I'm going to export some things that I need, and I need Firebase export const Firebase storage equals Firebase. So that'll give us access to Firebase storage outside of our app. And then I think that's good for now. And so what we're going to do is we're going to access this Firebase storage function, this Firebase storage constant when we need to get Firebase set up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop back over to my Firebase project, and we're going to get my settings. So hold on. So I'm back in my project. I want to go to my Firebase images, open up my project, and then as you know, we'd already set up our storage, but I need to get my keys. So I think my project settings, and then you scroll down, and then down here should be the actual settings. And then we'll get our Firebase configuration below. And then now we'll go back to our app. And we'll paste them in. I just like to format that. And then let's see, we installed everything. Let's restart our application. Okay, so I think now we have our data service set up, and then let's go back to our home app. And here we're going to import, I think we called it Firebase storage. And then we imported that from Firebase. No, that's not there. So up one. let's see, data services. Okay, and so then what we're going to do is here in our const upload file. And then inside of here we want to, so we got to do a couple of things. So we need to get a ref to where we want to save the file, similar to how we needed to get a collection, kind of to create a path to where we were going to write the collection. We need a path to where we're going to save the file. So we're going to say const image ref equals Firebase storage dot, and see, so now Firebase storage dot ref, and we're going to set our ref to be images, and then we could, let's just use the file name that we're getting. And so we can do this. We can say const file name equals selected file dot name, and we can then now just we can do this interpolation approach. We can say images, and then here we can put, and then put file name. So now our ref, so that means we're going to save our file to a path in the bucket called /images with the file name. And then one other thing I'd like to do to make sure that we get unique names is to append a unique identifier. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to append new date, and then we're going to get time, which is a number. I think, can I just do, no, it's get, I always forget, is get time static? No, it isn't. So yes, so we're going to say new date, and then we're going to get our time. And so what will happen is we'll get to select the name hyphen, and then with the date in with the numbers added as milliseconds on the end. So it definitely will be unique. So in this case, if you're uploading the same file multiple times, it will still be a unique file name. Okay, so then now we have the path we want to save it. The easiest way to actually just save an image is we can just put it since it's a file. So you can say const, let me see, we can say image ref dot put, and since we have a file, you see you can store a blob. A blob is a type of file, so we can just take that, and so then we're going to take this selected file and we're going to save that selected file. Now as you can see, we can, so the short way is to just, we can do a then. And what this will give us the snapshot of when the file was saved. And so we can say then snapshot and so at this point the file is uploaded, and we can say, and then we can, let's console log out some stuff. Bytes transferred, and this could tell us how many bytes got completely transferred on the upload. So now I have a snapshot. I can get the reference of the snapshot, and then off the reference I can get download URL. The download, this is an async await, so let's put a async on here, SY and C, and then we're gonna say const URL, and this will get us the URL that's associated with this image, AWAIT. Let's see, so to get download, it returns a URL. So now I have the URL, and then I also have the path that the image was associated with. So now that we have this URL, we're going to do this. We're going to say set current URL to the URL. And let's add another value up here. All right. And then what we want to do is, other than the selected file, let's actually see if we can just draw this image. Let's run it and see if it just worked. Refresh this, doesn't seem to be, oh, I forgot to actually call it to upload. So here's my upload file function, but it's not being called by anything. So on change, we select it. So that's the on change, and then underneath here for selected file, let's add an ion button. And then on click, we're just going to call upload file. So we don't need to pass in any parameters or anything because the file that I need to upload is there, and so let's just add this upload. And then, okay, so let's see if we got this working the first time. So let's choose a file, this untitled ping, and let's click upload. Nothing's happening. Let's look and see what's going on in the error log. Oh, no, here it is. It was just taking a little bit longer than I thought. I guess this was a big file. So it actually did upload the file, which is what we expected. Let's take a quick look at our console. Let's look at our images. Storage. And then here's the image that we uploaded. So like I said, I guess it just took longer than I thought, but it did upload it. So now we're back, our image is uploaded. What else can we do? So that's basically, I have an image uploaded. We understand the process. We saw what worked. And we got the download URL, and so that's why the image is actually showing up there. So what else can we do? Like what would be interesting is, like, we had no idea that the image was being uploaded. So a quick thing that we can do is, let's do this. Let's say uploading, and for now we'll just set any, and we'll set it to false. And what we'll do is we will add a uploading tag here, and let's import that because we want to use the type scripts to kind of help us get the commands in. So why is it not no upload? Did I add it? It's uploading. So let's go down here and add uploading. Let's add ion loading. So it's complaining, saying it's missing. So we're going to say is open if loading. And then what, uploading. And then we just want it to render null if it's not uploading. And then the message, so we're just going to upload the file. And then what we want to do is, once we click upload file up here, we're going to say set uploading. Did I name this right? Set uploading, yeah. Set uploading true. And then go down at the end, and after we set the current URL, we're also going to set uploading to false. So now let's try and upload another file. Let's find a smaller file this time. This screenshot shouldn't be that big. And then now let's upload it. Upload file, and then now it's done. So off of this put, you can see we get this off of this we get this upload task. And I think what we can do is we can use this upload. So let's go in here and say, so you saw what it says when you use the then on here, it treats it like a promise and you just get called unfulfilled. That's not what we want. I think what we want is on. So you can say dot on. And what happens is with on, let's see what the documentation says. With on, you have three, it says you have three callback functions: next, error, and complete, right? And so we're going to line them up. So we know the last one that we want is complete. And so that will be async. Next. And so here we should get a snapshot. Actually, I think we can just copy this too. So next will give us a snapshot. And then the last one it's missing is error. So what we want to do inside of here is, let's see if I do this right. It says on snapshot. Oh, so we need an event. So we want this Firebase storage task state changed. So we're going to say Firebase. So remember we took the Firebase storage task event state changed. So on that event, so as all these states are changing, we want to loop through all these. What's this one's complaining about? It just wants us to put any in there, so we'll put any. Oh, so it doesn't like us doing it this way. So let's separate this out. We're going to call this our const task. And then we're going to listen for the events on the task. Okay, so we're going to do that first, and then we have our error, snapshot, and then this last guy, so that goes to on snapshot. Let's see, what are we doing to snapshot? Let's get that set up right. So, yeah, this should not be that. So inside of here, let's do this. We can say snapshot, we can say console log snapshot dot bytes transferred slash snapshot total bytes. And we should see our percentages roll across the bottom there. So that handles this. On error, we're just going to say console.log.error. So if there's any errors, we'll get those logged out. So let's just put a comment next to that. So it says we need to, they're recommending that we unsubscribe. So we call the unsubscribe function. I don't understand why this is not happy. Oh. And so I can use my task, what was wrong? So I can use my task ref here. Task dot snapshot. So that's what was wrong. Okay, you don't. So I was mistaken. I thought you got passed in a parameter in the end, but you don't. And this will unsubscribe us. And so what happens now, what we should see in the log is you should see the percent transferred appear on the log. If there's an error, and then when it's done, it'll wrap it up. All I've done is I've kind of moved from the kind of promise-based approach that we had here to kind of getting the task and then listening for change events and then handling each event as it goes along. And so this last one, just to be clear, this is completed. And this is kind of like in progress. And this clearly is error. All right. So first, let's see if we can get kind of the variables that we're looking for here. So let's refresh this. We're going to upload that small screenshot file again. So let's upload the screenshot and look over here in this log for error. So let me make this a little bit bigger. So, I mean, not for error, so for progress. So let's see what we get now. So we're going to select this to say to upload, and now we're going to say upload. That was fast. And we didn't get what I expected to get here either. So home, I guess that file was a small file. Let me see if there's a better way to write out the percentages here. And then the last part here, which wasn't happening, was, so it's like it's not getting, oh, because this is a promise, I took my promise out. So let me put that async back in there. And then put the await And then now we should be getting our promise back. Let's try to upload that small file again. Okay, let's clear everything out. Let's choose another file. There's something kind of in the middle. I guess all my screenshots are small, so let's try this again. Selected a screenshot, uploading. See, it quickly jumped. But you can see we're getting our progress over there, which is what I was really shooting for. Let's try see if we can find another file. All right, that looks like a decent one. So we selected it, upload, see the progress that we're getting, and then the file is uploaded. Uploaded a couple of files. After all your files get uploaded, we could transition over to your console, and we can go to storage, we can look at images, and then here's all your images that were uploaded. And you can see there's a series of them. So this is what I really wanted to cover with the upload. Hopefully this was very helpful and informative to you. I'll post a link to the source code along with the video. And as usual, if you have any questions, ping me and let me know. Thanks, and take care. Bye.